Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us on the Cindy Cochran Show, along with Richard Schischler. And we got a great guest, just perfect for this time of year, because everybody likes, the scary things and the surprises and all that. And who better to have on except an exceptional magician? And he has to be, because he has to live up to his name, Jimmy Fingers. Hello, Jimmy. How are you doing?
Awesome. Thanks for having me, Cindy.
Oh, no, it's my pleasure. It's just people are trying to figure out, okay, he's doing radio. He's a magician. And I'm just going to have faith that he knows what he's doing. And because they can't see you because we're recording this. Normally it's live and I'd have you in the chair right across from me. So I'm going to, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine because we're going to get to know you. And so when this event happens, then they're going to want to come out and see you because they feel like they know you. You know what I mean?
Well, I want it to be so good that you want to come out with your family and Richard family. I want you all to come out and see us.
Oh, well, after this interview, I'm sure it's going to happen because y'all have got so many things going on. There's a lot of entertainment, but the magic show is going to be the best thing because there you are live. Do you find that people that are watching you live are always trying to figure you out and figure out what you're doing and how you're doing it?
I think they might feel that way walking in, but that goes away really fast because the show starts out so fast and so fast-paced, and there's not a lot of boxes or props to start the show. Mm-hmm. It's just me standing there, and things start appearing, and then streamers appear, and then birds appear from nowhere, and then birds multiply, and it starts really fast. So as far as figuring it out, they can't even figure out what they want to figure out.
That's right. And the hand is quicker than the eye. Is that true?
No. But it's actually preferable because it forces you to think about what you're putting together and put it in a way where it's more of a psychological one, being a little bit ahead than quickness or fast. But there are some things I do fast that also are quicker than the eye, but some of it is, some of it isn't. But most of it is situational, and it's based on choreography.
You're right. That's just what I was going to say. It is like a choreographed, performance because of what you're going into and all. But I think that is interesting because you've got to do a lot of deflection and you distract so that you can carry out an event, or a trick. Is that correct?
Yes, especially with one of my newest pieces where I actually make an animal appear in the hands of one of the people in the audience.
What? Okay. I know you won't answer the question. But
this is new. I was doing this for the Magic Show Theater in West Houston a few months ago, and one of the young guys, and you can tell he's young because of what he said, dude, that thing where the bird appeared in their hands, that was fire.
There you go. Your best compliment. That's.
Oh, yeah. Well, the best compliment is that he called me dude.
Well, that's true. You certainly connected with him, and he had much respect to be able to call you dude. I think it's
Well, I mean, usually when somebody says dude, they're about to ask you to do something you're not supposed to be doing.
really? I thought that was like a sign of they connect with you and they think you're one of them.
Yeah, you're right.
But it may be something that you would be inappropriate for you to do. Have you ever had a really strange, you know, I guess you do. You've had to. Someone wanting you to do something like, can you make my wife disappear? Or can you make, how do we do that? Uh,
That's the deluxe show.
that's, those tickets are big bucks, right? I'm,
It was hard
sure.
enough. It was hard enough with my ex-wife.
Oh,
Yeah, we were happily married for 7 years.
yes.
We were married for 9.
Uh-huh. You were, wait, you were happy for 7 years
We're happily married for 7 years.
and you were married
We were married for 9.
for 9 years. Okay, so you were married for 9 years and 7 of those you were happy? Is that what you're saying?
That, there is comedy in the show,
Okay.
unlike the radio interview.
Maybe I shouldn't be. Okay. I'll be the ringer. Okay. And so go ahead.
Um, well, I started out back in the late 70s and early 80s at Comedy Workshop in Houston with Janine Garofalo and Bill Hicks and Sam Kinison and Andy Huggins, who's really popular now.
Wow.
And I was the only outlaw magician in Houston.
That you were with all those guys that came through. What theater was that?
It was Comedy Workshop at the corner of Shepherd and San Felipe.
Okay. Okay. Well,
It was the launching pad back in the late 70s.
right.
It
Right.
was the place that everybody started.
Well, and they had didn't they have some kind of they'd have singers and they'd have different types of stars trying to get on, or was it just comedy? That's all it was.
It was mostly just comedy. It was
Okay.
2 rooms. They had the main room and then the comics annex, which means for the open mic and for the development.
Uh-huh.
And it was Paul and Sharon Menzel ran that for years. And over the years, I also worked with Sharon in Las Vegas.
You did? Well, that Houston connection would be funny because a lot of entertainers hated to come to Houston because they thought it kills their desire to do anything else because the audiences weren't good. And because I worked on Channel 13 and saw all the stars that would come in because there was only 3 channels, and so they'd have they'd have to come to 13 because it was the biggest audience, and so
Oh, yeah.
they'd come through there and you could just tell that they thought, oh, this is Houston, and and do I have to talk slower?
Countdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they going to get me? But I mean, like Steven Spielberg and George Lucas and all those guys came through, and it was just it was amazing to watch all these people that you think were so like big stars, and they come in there and then they get human, and so it's
Right.
but it's great, and I'm so happy that you are a Houston guy. Did you grow up in Houston?
Yeah, my family's from Galveston.
Yeah.
And then, my dad came to Houston after high school. My mom is from East Texas. She's from the backwoods, the hills out in East Texas. And,
Uh-huh. Came the big city.
and yeah, I survived all that. And I grew up, I was in West Houston. I went to Westchester,
Yeah.
out I-10 and Wilcrest, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I go to a school, it closes. Westchester closed down. The junior high was demolished. So they figured they had their work done, and they'd done enough, so they closed them all down. But
Yeah, so
I'm still here.
did your name get around and they start saying, whatever you do, just put him through and pass him in every grade and so he can get out of there quick because otherwise your school will just collapse.
Oh my gosh, we have so many stories from high school, so many crazy things, and people in high school will tell you a lot of what I'm about before you see me at the show. I haven't changed that much. I've been doing the magic on a really high level since I was a teenager. And
Really?
I've lived in Vegas. I've performed in a show that's for the creators of magic in Vegas. It's called Wonderground, and I was they said I was the highlight of the World Magic Seminar, the Las Vegas Weekly.
Oh, that says a lot. That says a lot.
Well,
Man.
I invent a lot of tricks that magicians all over the world use, and for that reason, most of the magicians in the world, which there's probably about a million people who've either checked out a magic book or bought a magic trick at a magic shop,
Hmm.
but most of those people know who I am because of the invention.
And what invention is that you
I've invented two tricks that were on Penn and Teller's Fool Us on television.
Yeah.
My reputation and Slam Down. And for the Halloween show, it's going to be a family show in Conroe at the Knights of Columbus Hall.
Right.
But there'll be families there. But I am going to be doing some scary stuff in the show,
You are?
like a
Cool.
trick called Capo that I invented, a trick called Slam Down that I invented, my rope that cuts through my body, and I'm going to be levitating in midair, and
You
that's what I'm the most famous for. It's called the Magellan levitation.
and on Reels and TikTok and things like that, they have there's somebody out in the city has a square and everybody goes to it and it's just somebody levitating and I'm going, how are they doing that? And that's what did you invent that, like how they do it?
Well, there's one performer who did a levitation on television, and it really, really took over, but it wasn't something you could do live. It was all television.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
it was aided by television, but I actually invented something. In fact, this performer who did it was coming to my shows in Vegas to see how it worked.
Wow.
And his name's Chris Angel. And
Chris Angel,
he was
yeah,
doing,
yeah, because he did a
yeah, he was
show.
doing the levitation on TV, but
Yeah.
he can't do that live. But I'm going to do it live at this show that everybody's coming to.
Okay. Now see that's a big enough, something to throw out to somebody. They've got to go see that is. They've got to be there, and it's the. Do you act? I know you. Are you not supposed to explain these things because it ruins it? It's bad for the people coming to see you, or can you say you levitate? How far off the ground do you levitate?
It's so funny because when people see the show, they come back and tell me, "Oh, he was 3 feet off the ground," and that's just the way they remember it.
Uh huh.
And I'm not that high off the ground. Maybe a little over a foot off the ground, but you can see clear under. I'm just levitating up in midair. There's no threads, no wires, no mechanical, nothing like that.
Now, do you let
I just
people come?
levitate.
Do you let people come in from out of the audience and put their hands through there and say, okay, there's nothing here, and
Well, in some shows, I do something called the horizon suspension that I came up with probably about 5 months ago. And basically, I have someone from the audience come and lay on a board. It's going across two stools. Then I pulled the stools and the board and everything and put 2 hoops over them. And that's all that stuff is on my website at jimmyfingers.com if you'd like to see it.
So you've got it videotaped or something? I mean, you have somebody videotape?
Oh, yeah.
You can do that?
Yeah, I have more YouTube views than any magician in Houston.
That's great. And so if you had to saw a woman in half, would you do that? Where's your wife now? Your ex-wife?
Well, part of her isn't. No, I'm kidding. I don't know where she is, but we're on positive terms.
Oh, good. Okay.
We are able to speak about the stuff of mine that she's selling, but
I'm so sorry. I don't mean to laugh. I'm sorry.
Too easy. You have to laugh to keep from crying.
Isn't that the truth?
No, that was 25 years ago, so I'd say I'm over it. But,
Finally, good. That's good.
But I do. I'm doing the Halloween Spooktacular, so I'm going to have a lady come up, and I have a guillotine that I'm going to use with her.
Oh no! You're going to do that this show that you're doing?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And I'm also going to do a tribute to Ozzy Osbourne.
Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad.
It's fun. It's a scary show, but it's all fun scary. The kids love it, and it's very interactive. But we were doing these shows in Texas City, and the Shriners really promoted the shows a lot. And what started happening over the last few years is that a lot of adults would come on date night who had no family or anything with them. It's not just a family show. I mean,
right.
I'm the only magician in Houston that performed in A-room comedy clubs in Houston, and I was in the Houston Comedy Festival, and I'm the only magician that's ever been in the Houston Comedy Festival.
You are?
Yeah, I'm the only comedy magician that's ever worked in the Houston Comedy Festival.
Okay. Well, and you're from Houston. How'd they find you? Your popularity just has grown?
Oh, yeah, from me doing open mics, and I was the house magician at the Laugh Spot, Willowbrook, and I performed there for years. There's a lot of video online from me performing back then in the comedy clubs, and I used to run the variety entertainment and the family shows at the Improv, which is down off the loop, West Loop, Silver at I-10.
Yes, I've been to that, and I've been to the one at Willowbrook. Willowbrook's gone now, right? I think it's gone.
Yeah, that was Don Learned's club. Don just passed away about a year ago, and he was fantastic. He really put me on the map. He got me my first real gigs in Vegas, and he put me out there with Rodney Dangerfield way back in the day, back in the early 90s.
Wow.
And Don was fantastic. He got me booked with Steve Shariffa, who is the booker. He was the booker at the Riviera, but he played Bobby on The Sopranos. And so he got me in with some real heavy hitters.
He sure did. Good grief. Yeah. Well, now, your inspiration to even do this, to become a magician, was it Houdini, or who was it that you looked to and tried to emulate?
Well, I don't think I've ever tried to emulate anybody, because I was always really disappointed with magic that I saw on TV.
Oh, okay.
It was just never direct enough. It was never visual enough. It was never, just never lived up to the hype for me. And so I had an aunt in Galveston. Now I'm performing for the Shriners, and my first show was in 1974. My first professional show was for the Shriners in Galveston at the Shriners Bones Institute.
Yeah.
But, so as far as inspiration, way back then, my aunt bought a paperback magic book called The Amateur Magician's Handbook. by Henry Hay, and it was the absolute best magic book for a beginner or even for a pro in certain ways. It's just amazing little $3. At the time, it was a $2.95. It was $2.95 for this magic book, and it has all of the perfect building blocks for becoming a very creative magician. It teaches you all the basics, and it doesn't give you a lot of fluff. It gives you the building blocks. And so I had that book whenever I was in, I think, third grade. And I guess my inspirations for magic, most of the time I see a magician, I'm looking at what I don't want to do.
There you go. You learn all the downfalls, and then you go like, okay, I'm ready now. It wasn't to get the girls or anything, right? You didn't want to be a magician for that, right?
Well, that was what football, and you talk about being in Texas, that's what Baytown football are for. And I did play football. I scored the longest touchdown in junior high at Grove Stadium at Spring Branch High School.
At Spring Branch? Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Yeah, and I used to be Roger Clemens' catcher in practice when we played Little League.
Goodness. That's right.
It's so funny. I didn't make my high school team, but I didn't make my talent show in high school, but I won district in junior high in the talent competition. So one of the things that I like to impress upon people is that when one door closes, another one opens.
Amen. That's right.
Every time I've been shut out of something better came along.
Yeah.
So I'm not one of these guys who's out pushing it and promoting and hyping, and I get the shows that I'm supposed to get.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I love doing the Shriner shows. People are there to have fun. The show is free. There's no reason not to come out unless you
Right.
got a funeral or something. But it's a blast, and they give away prizes at the show. We've had shows where they didn't promote it as well as they are promoting this show. We've had shows where a handful of people came out to the show and walked away with bicycles and scooters and
There
all
you go.
kinds of things.
Now, see, that's great to be able to say you've got some really good reasons why you should be at that show, and so I bet I can talk Richard into being there. We've got he and I are supposed to go judge a cook-off, and we've done that before. And it's quite. I mean, I didn't eat anything until we went to that, and I was so hungry. And I saw they gave the judges like a bite of each thing, and that was it. But going to something like you're talking about, they've got performers and the performances that are going to be there, and
Well, I might not be there. Where's this chili cook-off going to be?
Oh, no. This was a few months ago that we did a chili cook-off
Okay.
judging, and we're certainly not professional judges. I like to eat, but I don't, but it was for a good cause, and that's what the Shriners is. That's what's also the big benefit of going and understanding what all that they do for the community.
Oh yeah, I've been working with the Shriners for over 5 decades, I think, around 5 decades, and
And they've never changed their hats.
they still got the fez. They've got that fez on.
Right. Yeah.
They're serious about that fez. They have their carrying cases for the fez, and you see them, and you think you're watching the Flintstones. Funny.
Well, why do you think why does it look like you're? Oh, okay. I got you.
The Grand Poobah?
Yes, the Grand Poobah. That's right. That was a big deal on the Flintstones. Yes.
Now,
And
it's
so,
not just magic, though. I do mind reading and mentalism. I'm one of the top mentalists anywhere because the show
I love that.
I do mind reading, but it's very direct mind reading. Every other mind reader in the world gets together with people before the show and gets information from them. Mine,
Ah,
I do not meet with anybody before the show.
good. So you are truly
It,
reading their
this
mind.
is I'm doing stuff that's really next level stuff, and they'll the reactions. If you see the reviews on the website and on booking sites like Gig Salad,
Uh-huh.
um, the reviews, I've never had anything less than a 5-star review, and I have over 70 reviews on there.
Goodness.
And then I'm also an ex-yo-yo champion, and I do a yo-yo routine that ends up being magic. But the yo-yo routine that I did it for a guy back in the 80s named Tommy Smothers.
Oh my
And
goodness. Oh,
Tommy Smothers was the yo-yo man, and he saw me do my show.
uh-huh.
And he came to me after the show. The complaint was that the show was too short. They wanted to see more.
Uh-huh.
And and the request was he asked me if he could use the jokes that I use with the yo-yo in his act, but not
Oh,
on TV or on stage, but when he's playing golf or
uh-huh.
whenever he's around his friends and family. He was I was an ex-yo-yo champion, and he is an expert on the yo-yo. And if you remember the TV shows, the Smothers Brothers
Right.
Comedy Hour, he never spoke during the yo-yo. He did it to music. But when I did it with comedy, he loved it so much that he wanted to use my material. And of course, I said he could. And ever since then, he just passed away a couple of years ago. But he really helped me a lot in the entertainment world by getting me booked with Chris Beard Productions, with Vin DeBona. He got me on TV shows and all kinds of things. He was always out there rooting for me.
Well,
And
wow. Your own
yeah,
special agent. That
oh yeah, Tommy was great. I miss him.
yeah. In fact, they were showing past shows and like how he was on the Johnny they were on the Johnny Carson show a lot, and so he they would talk about uh, political things, and it made Carson mad, and he wouldn't have him back on again. And I never knew anything like that because I thought, he loved them, but they were just talking about we have uh, 8 of the 10 people that Carson couldn't wouldn't let back on the show, and it was and they were one of the acts that he axed. And so, but I thought they were so fun in the beginning, and he was such a perfect person for the way he acted and what they had him doing.
He was hilarious, and the stuff he was so far ahead of his time.
Mm-hmm.
All of these people who did political comedy and all of even Carson. Well, Carson didn't do too much political stuff, but the late night hosts who do all the political stuff, they couldn't be doing that stuff if Tommy hadn't really blazed the trail for that stuff.
Like started
He
it.
really, yeah, he really went out on a limb, and that was very controversial. And it's so funny because CBS at the time was, trying to restrict what he can say. And it's come full circle now that CBS has just been bought. So it's like,
That's all
you
right.
know,
No, that's
everything,
it's a
it's
good point.
cyclical.
Yeah,
And,
that's right. But the comedy, like everybody's saying that comedians can be comedians now. They've been restricted for a long time to be able to say what they want to say, and like they did in the old days. And now the comedians are being a little more free about making fun of people and doing all that. Do you feel that?
well, My comedy is mostly incidental and off the cuff. It's
Mm-hmm.
not a lot of pre-written stuff. There is a
Ah,
lot of
okay.
there's pre-written stuff in the show, but I'm very interactive. With magic, there's a lot of crowd work
Well, you got to
and
read the
improvisation,
crowd. You got to be able to read the crowd, right?
well, especially with the mentalism, especially with the mind reading.
Mm-hmm.
And that there was, as far as my influences with mentalism, we all grew up with Kreskin
Yes,
and
yes, yeah.
with Uri Geller, and Uri Geller at the time. But I don't claim to have special powers. Everything I do is a trick. I don't
Mm-hmm.
I don't want people. I don't speak to the dead. It's really a no-no in what we do because it leads to some really inappropriate conflicts of interest. People, some guys start feeling a lot of power when they say they can speak to the dead,
Uh-huh.
and so it's kind of a no-no. You just don't do that, and I don't do that. All the stuff that I do are just tricks. I tell them they're just tricks. Don't go changing churches.
Now, see, do you have the audience? Do they ask you questions and they want you to tell them what they're thinking or what they've done or that kind of thing?
I have people in the audience uh, take these little squares of paper. They're basically half of a business card, and they write something on it. And I have someone from the audience gather it, and I've never seen these, and I've never met the person who's
Uh-huh.
helping me gather the squares. Basically, I read each square without seeing it by waving my hand over the top.
And
And
you read what's they wrote on it,
right, without having seen it.
or and
And
you haven't conversed with your team or anything like that. You don't.
no, I have no team.
Okay.
I work alone.
Wow, that's amazing.
Well, the
So,
trick is called inconceivable, and I may be able to do it at this show. I don't know if I'm gonna have time to do it,
yeah.
but I do a lot of other mentalism, a lot of reading. I have someone draw a picture, and I'm standing across the room, and they draw it in a folder, and they don't let anybody see it. And I'm able to draw a picture in my folder, and then when we open the folders, they match. And
Oh my. And you're telling me, now I'm believing you, um, that you are doing this all by yourself, and it's really real. And that when I come to the show, I will believe everything you said. Right?
oh yeah, it's happening now. One of my favorite tricks I can't do at the show because they don't have a bookcase or a library there. But I mean, if people were to bring some books, I could use books. But usually people don't bring books to a show. But I have plenty of other material I do. But
Mm-hmm.
basically, if I'm performing in a house party, um, somebody brings in two books that I've never seen in my life,
Mm-hmm.
and I haven't gotten together with anybody before the show, and they bring in two books, and they select one book, and I take that book and flip through it, and they tell me when to stop, and it stops at a page number, and I have them go over to the other book and find that page number, and I'm walking away. I'm looking the other direction. They go to the page, and I start reading out of the book from across the room with my back turned.
Now, you know, I'm trying so hard to understand that, but that's the
If you see the
that's the
reviews, if you look at the
magic.
reviews, they say, and we have, it really crushes people when I read out of a book I've never seen.
Yeah, well, of course. Good grief! And so you're uh, after these shows are over, are you just deluged with people, wanting you to tell them how you did it or and that kind of thing?
Well, I visit with people after the show, and they get to pet the birds that are in the show, and then I pull a live rabbit I do the classic rabbit out of the
Oh,
hat trick.
yeah.
And I have a bunny. His name's Poofus, and he's going to be the star of the show after it's over because everybody wants to pet Poofus.
Oh, I'm sure. And so you do. It sounds like you're really able at taking and mixing the acts that you're doing and what you're portraying with the family. So the kids are getting it, and of course the adults are. And you're using, like when you said, using Ozzy Osbourne, the young kids, they may not understand it, but you've got the adult audience, really interested in what you're doing
Well,
with him.
basically, it's what's called a geek show. It's a geek act. And in circus, basically, if you look up, I'm not going to say it, but if you look up the definition of a geek, the literal definition of the geek, I'm going to do that in the show.
Okay. The the original definition of it, like
The
if I
original literal definition of a geek.
okay, let's see. Trying to think, did I ever see that in a dictionary? Like,
You
like
saw everybody knew the reason Ozzy Osbourne became famous is because he committed a geek act.
the eating the rat. What? Which one? Which one did he? Which one did he do?
He bit the head off
Yeah.
of a bat.
That's what I'm. Okay, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
It was a bat, not a rat. Um,
Yeah.
but and so that's he's your inspiration for that. What you're gonna do?
Well, I've actually been doing that since before Ozzy Osbourne did it. But
You've bitten the head off of a bat.
I've been doing a dove act for decades, and basically I'm able to do magic with a dove, and able to. You asked me about cutting a lady in two.
Yeah.
Well, I do that to a bird, and then I restore the bird back to life.
Oh my goodness. You have given so many different aspects to this show that are just, you got to go see this.
It's the most exciting magic show you can see anywhere around here at all.
Oh, of
If not
course.
anywhere. It's an exciting show, and I love doing it. And I'm always very present. You can feel that I'm there.
Right.
I don't want to be somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
And my theory is that might be the only time that audience ever sees a live magician. And I want
Right.
to make sure that it's the best they will ever see.
Well, right now I'm seeing that you disappeared from here because you're not sitting. We made you disappear from here, and that you're not sitting here. We're just hearing your voice. You're just your voice is what we're going to hear. And so that's what people said to me whenever I said we're having a magician on, and they said, "Wait a minute, on the radio? Oh, y'all are streaming." No, I said, "No, we're not streaming. This guy is so good that he's gonna disappear right before their eyes." No, you never came. You never saw him. But we did have the mic set right where you would sit and pull the chair out for you. So
Well, then it'll be, I really, that's kind of one of my things is I really don't want to appear and be seen by the audience until the beginning of the show. That's the most exciting moment of a concert. Is
Ah.
whenever you come out to the stage,
you're right.
and a lot of magicians want to mingle and interact with the audience before the show. But I want that first second that I step on stage to be the first time they see me and have the excitement build to that and have a shared experience.
That's really true. You're right. And you're right. There's a lot of people that they want to get to know the audience and find out some, secrets and things like that. And then then they give it away. But you're not talking to anybody. And all
Right.
you get this little card and you're not even reading the card. You're just, putting your hand over it and you've got it. Now tell me, we're on a phone line, so we've gone to the satellite and come back down and all that stuff. And what would you read into what we've talked about? How would you read my mind?
Well, at this distance, I can't do it at this distance because a lot of it is audience management, and there's a lot of technique that I can't use over the phone because the phone, this is a digital transmission,
Yes.
and even analog is basically analog is a bunch of waves, and now digitally it's a bunch of dots and a lot of beeps and blips. We're not really talking. We're really sending a bunch of data to each other.
Ooh,
And
that sounds so romantic.
yeah, it could be a problem online. But,
Yeah, right. Okay, so you can't read my mind.
well, no,
I'm in awe.
can.
I'll tell you, I'm in awe of what you're telling me that you're going to be able to do and pull off. And that's amazing. And you've been doing it long enough. I know that you're telling me the truth and that you feel confident about that. When you do a show, do you get nervous that something might not go the way it's supposed to?
Pufus was really being bad over the last 6 months.
Poor,
Pufus
poor
Pufus
rabbit.
is a little chewer, and before I would produce him from nowhere, he'd come hopping out onto the stage.
Oh dear.
And that was a disaster. So that's the most nervous I am is corralling Pufus. But now I've got that under control, and he's really under wraps now. You see, I do all the sewing and welding and building of all of my props.
Yeah.
I don't do stuff that was bought at the store
Oh right.
or at the magic shop or online or every other magician is doing things that they saw somebody do and they're buying it from a website or something. This is not that. This is like the difference between going to Taco Bell and going to El Tiempo where everything's handmade,
Right. Well,
including the furniture and the building and everything's done by hand. This is a crafted magic show.
yeah, and
This
you
is
wouldn't
not
want somebody, a 13-year-old, stand up in the audience and go like, "Oh, you got that at Walmart. I got that same thing." So it's good that you're doing all the stuff by yourself, because I'm sure.
Yeah, it's all in house. Most magicians are craftsmen in that they take other people's ideas and then they get good at doing other people's ideas. Well, I'm the other people. I come up with the ideas,
Uh-huh.
and there is a craftsmanship to it, but I'm an artist. This is the art of magic.
Well, that's what's so great is because the individual talent that you have that no one else would have exactly, and so it'll be one of a kind.
Oh yeah, it's very inspired work, and I think other magicians, they get burned out doing their shows,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't get burned out because it's kind of like if you were showing people, you open your wallet and show people pictures of your children.
Mm-hmm.
These tricks are my children. I'm not somebody out there who's showing pictures of anonymous children that they don't even know.
Oh, good example.
This is
Yeah.
my work, and it's a lifetime of work, and I love doing it. Now the audience doesn't know the difference between the store-bought and what I do,
Mm-hmm.
but I think the reviews and the accolades say it all. I think if you go look at the and their views, people kind of know the difference. I want to believe.
Right,
But,
right. Well, you certainly sound like you have been there, done that, and you got the T-shirt for it. But I think that it's interesting that you can have all that done, and you have to keep it fresh, and you have to, because you know people come back to see you over and over again. So you have to evolve in some way.
right. Somebody was just asking me today, and I told them about the guy who said, "Oh, that bird trick where it comes out of their hands, that's fire." And I've only been doing that for less than a year.
Mm-hmm.
So, and things get naturally refreshed in the show, the stuff that I didn't invent. But my main inventions, it's kind of like if you go see a concert, you expect Fleetwood Mac to do Dreams and
Mm-hmm.
Go Your Own Way. And
Right.
you expect them to do certain songs, but they're going to mix in something new. So it's kind of like a concert. It's like a band. You're not seeing the cover band. You're seeing Fleetwood Mac.
That's awesome. That's great. I love your comparisons and how you build your story about what you're doing, and Jimmy Fingers. Jimmy Fingers.
That's my real name.
That's your real name. Are you part of the Fingers furniture store?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. I thought, okay, and I've got to try and figure out where that name would have come from. But Jimmy Fingers was really, it's perfect for you and what you're doing, and then your audience will walk away knowing exactly, will remember your name forever. But I just want to thank you, and listen, audience, I've gotten so entrenched in what you're telling me and your stories that this is going to be the fall festival for the Shriners that they're putting on, and Jimmy Fingers is going to be, I'm sure, the star of the whole thing. And they have a lot of activities that are going on. If you want to check it out, we've got it on the screen, the information, and we've got your website and that kind of thing, all on there, ready for people to go see you. I hope I get to go out there because I want to see if you'll know who I am.
Oh, well, you're the lady who was interviewing me.
I know, but you haven't seen
You're
me.
Cindy.
You haven't seen me, so it's going to be, I'm going to just see if you can figure it out. Is that okay? No. Listen, you got to come back. Will you come back and be live in the studio with us sometime?
Yeah, definitely. We can do studio magic. I have a friend who does radio magic, Banachek, and he's a consultant for Chris Angel, and he just finished a run performing in Vegas at the Stratosphere, and he does more radio magic. I don't do a lot of radio magic because I feel like it's just, I really don't do television magic because real magic
Right.
is something that has to be seen live.
Right. But I mean, if you come in and just talk to us and about it so that we can see you and promote anything that you're doing here around this area, we want to have you back. Will that be okay? Whenever you
Yeah,
feel
that would
like
be
it.
great.
Okay,
But it'd be better if you come see me.
I want to come see you. I'm going to try and get there because
Bring the family and bring your husband and your boyfriend. They'll
And my-
both love it.
okay, great. And then you figure out what they're thinking, okay? Okay.
Oh, I know what they're thinking.
Okay. Jimmy, thank you so much. You were great. That hour went by so fast, I couldn't believe it. So
Thank you, Cindy. I didn't even know how long we were going to talk. If you had told me it was an hour, I'd be shocked.
that was amazing. That shows how good you are.
Secret.
That's the
That's
secret.
the secret is when time slips by you that fast.
That's right.
You know, it's fun.
And you had a good interviewer. Will you give me that? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Cindy.
Okay.
Psychic Cindy.
Psychic Cindy. Well, I wanted to always end my shows by talking about the first responders and emergency people and the police and our military people. We just love you so much, and we admire you, and we want to tell you that we have your back. Okay. All right. Thank you, Jimmy.
All right.
We will see
Okay,
you.
thank you, Cindy. And
All
thanks, Richard. And hope to see y'all all there.
Okay. All right. Good. Thank you. Bye bye.